Yeah, I got it.
I had to put my dog in the engine bay, so somebody remind me that my dog's in the engine bay.
Yes, go ahead. Oh, until 7. Okay.
Pelagie. Okay.
You can call me whatever you like.
Look, my name's the same way, so I always check just to make sure.
Which you like?
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, you sure can.
But it's pronounced McCatherine. There's no TH in it, but Scotch Irish, nobody does.
Hello and good evening to everyone who has joined us in person and online. Thank you for caring about your neighbors and community enough to be here and show your support. It's a moment like this that will help our community stronger by us all coming together. My name is Sandy Manette, and I am one of the members of the Citizens Advisory Board in Bevel Oaks, also known as the CAB team. So this is just one of the many efforts that help bring our community together. And at this time, if there are any members here of the CAB team, if you will stand or raise your hand if you're already standing so that everyone knows who you are. And thank you for your service. There's also a handout on the back, or you can go to the website if you're interested in joining the CAB team and find out what we're all about and what we do and what our mission is. At this time, I would like to ask you all to please stand as we open this meeting with prayer, and Ms. Rita Williams will be coming to lead the invocation.
Good evening. To set the tone, like I heard Mr. Lonnie say earlier, I'm going to just give you two quick scriptures to kind of set the tone for the prayer. Psalms 133:1 says, "How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity." And then Philippians 2:3-4 says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain deceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others." Father God, we thank you so much for this night. Thank you for this gathering of citizens who come here in the spirit of community for this great cause. Thank you for our current mayor and the members of our city council who are volunteering their service for the betterment and growth and safety of our community. And thank you for those who have volunteered to be on the ballot this year who also want to join in that effort. I pray that you continue to bless the city of Bevel Oaks, bless every citizen, and let love and peace flow throughout our community. Continue to protect us, keep us safe, grow us, Father God, and help us to progress and become the city that you can be proud of and that you would favor. We love you and we thank you. Let this night be productive and successful. Let the citizens feel free to ask questions and let everybody answer truthfully and honesty with the interests of others at mind. We thank you for this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Rita. And if you'll remain standing at this time, Roger Burnett will come forward and lead us in our pledges.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor these Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
At this time, it is my honor to introduce the moderator for this evening's event. This gentleman serves our community in probably one of the most important ways that any of us could, and for his service. We are also thankful that he recognizes the importance of our city, this event, and that he cared enough to fill this post for us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the Superintendent of Hardin Jefferson Independent School District, Mr. Brad McCatherine.
Very good. She did a good job pronouncing that. Thank you to Miss Sandy. Thank you to the CAB team and the City of Bevel Oaks and each of the candidates who are here tonight. We're blessed to live in a country that allows us to exercise these freedoms, that allows us to come together and to exercise our liberties to make our communities and our towns better. Where we're able to focus on making things better for the next generation. We should never take this privilege for granted, and I'm honored to have been asked to moderate this event and to be able to serve the Bevel Oaks community. This is my second year to moderate this. I was able to do this last year, and I'm honored to be back to do this again this year. At this time, we're about to start the candidate forum in a few minutes, but before we do, we have a few requests and announcements to make. At this time, we ask that everyone please take a moment to silence your cell phones and electronic devices. This forum is a public service providing you with an opportunity to hear from each candidate as they address your questions and concerns in a group setting and face-to-face. The citizens of Bevel Oaks have had 1 week to submit questions to the city office and here tonight prior to the start of this meeting. The questions submitted cover a variety of topics that the citizens feel are important for these candidates to answer. We will ask as many questions as this allotted time allows. Some of these submitted questions of a similar nature have been combined in an effort to be more efficient. The questions have been evaluated, printed, and placed in the bowl, and the candidates have already drawn a number to see who will go first, second, and so on. I will draw a question, read it to the candidates in numerical order of the draw. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer the question. We will have our timekeeper right on the front row, and we'll let your candidates know when they have 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and when time is up. So where's our timekeeper? Or in the back row. Okay.
I don't want to be in front of the.
Okay.
One, I think.
Okay, not a problem.
Waiting for live video signal.
Yeah, it's dead.
You're not showing.
Of course.
Give us just a minute, having a technical difficulty. All right, he's back. You're back live.
It's something to be addressed.
Yeah, now I can hear my phone. Yeah, it's a little bit of delay. So I guess that first.
Yeah, he went to put his phone up, and then we'll get started. They've got one actually in the back. Okay. The last 10 minutes of this forum will be for the candidates to leave us with some closing thoughts that they have prepared. We ask that there be no open comments, questions, or gestures during this forum. We want to give these candidates their due respect and ample time to answer the questions that have been submitted. If you have specific comments or questions for any of these candidates other than the ones that have been asked here tonight, you're encouraged to reach out to them personally after this meeting is adjourned. At this time, we want to give each of the candidates an opportunity to introduce themselves and tell us a little more about who they are. We ask that the audience please refrain from applause, except for right now, as we all give a round of applause for all the candidates that are stepping up to serve the community. So let's get started, and our candidate number one in the drawing is Jeff Thibodeau. So at this time, tell us
I
Ah,
about
gotcha. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Apologizing for all the technical difficulties. It seems there's Murphy around. So my name is Jeff Thibodeau, and I am honored to be running for re-election as City Council representative for Ward 3. This is the end of my first term, and this first 2 years, it's been a privilege leading the community development for Bevel Oaks. That's been my main charge from the day I took office, and there've been a lot of challenges, a lot of great results. But what I knew going forward was that this was not anything that I wanted to do by myself. And so we polled the entire community, and anybody who wanted to have input, we invited them into a meeting there at the event center, and we ended up with 20 plus people. I think the highest we had was like 27, and we called ourselves the Citizens Advisory Board, and those members that are there tonight, I'm in awe of you guys just picking up the torch and running with it. That's the way things get done. And so it's because of their commitment and their input that we actually came up with the events that the city would want to see and for the city to support. And so this group has been the driving force behind the things that you've seen happen across our city. We agreed on a simple truth, and that was just to build a strong community, that people need opportunities to meet each other. When Lisa and I first moved out to Bevel Oaks, it was just a wonderful bedroom community. People have been in their homes for years and years, and through attrition, through storms, through other things, life happens, people move, and so we've got a whole new set of neighbors, at least on my street, and I know that that's probably true on many of the areas. And so the idea was to have events that the city, the citizens would want to come and enjoy, and through that we have enjoyed the Christmas in the Park. We've enjoyed our 4th of July celebration, the citywide garage sales, the movie night, most recently the Bevel Oaks Lunch Bunch, and then of course the first ever Boogie on the Bayou Car Show in '24, great success. And we capped off the year with New Year's celebration. So every single one of these events was held at or below budget. And so that was also a testament to the planning and the events that we did. So in fact, year over year, we've saved more than 30% of what the original budget was. We never spent it all. We're very, very cost conscious, very frugal. So anyway, I just feel like I'd like to continue.
Time's up.
My time's up. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Thibodeau. Candidate number 2, Mr. Lonnie Clayton.
Yes, great to be here. Thank you guys for having me here. Just to reiterate, the question is, tell them about myself, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm actually going on my second term as well. This year, I actually won again. I'm running unopposed. So my name is Dr. Lonnie Clayton. I've been a resident of Bevel Oaks going on 5 years. Married going on 17 years to the lovely Amelia Clayton. I have 2 daughters and a son, Aubrey, Avery, and Cameron. A little bit about myself. I attended Southern University in Baton Rouge, played football there, where as I won 3 national championships, went undefeated in my conference as well. Went on to play arena football. And later on, that'll be relevant to probably one of the questions why I mentioned football and being undefeated on a college level in the conference that we played in. Went on to play arena football for a year, and that didn't pan out, so I ended up going to chiropractic school, ended up becoming a chiropractor, worked for a year with Dr. Wilson. She's out here in Beaumont. And now I work for Westlake Chemical as a process operator. I love Bevel Oaks. Bevel Oaks is a great city. I believe in blessings. This is a neighborhood that we actually sought after, but the house that we end up being blessed with was not the house that was on our list. However, it's one of the houses that I tell people all the time. It's a blessing to myself and my family. And so I take pride in the city of Bevel Oaks. One of the main things that I brag about, is the crime rate. The crime rate, I believe, is less than 0.1%. That's pretty big when especially you're raising kids. That's something that I value. So that's something that I hold dear. And the city and the people in Bevel Oaks are very welcoming. As any other community, you're going to have your challenges. But again, overall, it was some people that I met that I already knew and didn't know that they even lived in this neighborhood. So that was a blessing as well. So it made the transition very, very great for myself and my family. So I'm looking forward to working for you guys another 2 years and making sure that we get things done and making sure we meet your needs to appease to what you need as citizens of Bevel Oaks.
Thank you. Candidate number 3, Andrew Pileggi.
Hello. So, this is all pretty new to me. I mainly want to be here to help. I've been here about 8 years. I've got store manager history, I've won awards for that. I've been a mechanic, I've sold electronics, I've done so many different things. I usually excel in all of them, because even if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to do my best to figure it out and get the answers and the truth to everything. I don't have hardly any history in city stuff, but I've been here helping since I've moved here, and anybody needs anything, generally I'm there. You've probably seen me behind the scenes, you probably already know me. And so I figured, why not? I will jump into this with 2 feet and see what happens. I have a daughter, she's 10. She doesn't stay with me usually sometimes, but you've probably seen her. Great kid. I'm not a man of many words. I'm just a man of action, so I don't know what else to say.
Thank you, Mr. Pileggi. Candidate number 4, Bud Marandino.
Okay, I'm Bud Marandino. I've lived out here for 31 years. I started building a house out here in 1994, and I got about that much water over my dirt, and so I bought a house that was already done. I had 4 aunts and uncles that lived out here, and my mom and dad. My dad suffered from, like Alzheimer's. And so I was back and forth from Beaumont. I just had to move out here. So, and then I retired early. I spent 31 years in a refinery, two different ones, Goodyear and Mobil, and retired from Mobil. I've had my own business for 38 years. Still do that a little bit part-time. And I got to say that, you see all these people here and y'all and everybody that's online. Without the help of these 2 hard-working ladies that work at our office up there, Miss Sabrina Crane and Miss Stillman, Heather, man, y'all just have no idea. This wouldn't be, we can't do all that. Us up here, we can't do all that. I've been over the roads and drainage for the last time, and we've just, man, we've got roads fixed, we've got ditches dug out, the DD6, John Murph, Doug Canat, Jason Jones, they've done a just fantastic job. I can't believe they do so much work out here. I know y'all see them all the time doing right-of-ways, doing stuff. We have Brandon Willis that just got elected to Precinct 1 County Commissioner. He's just awesome. He actually came out and rode in the truck with us when we did this last road to see what we wanted to do. This will be my 5th term, so this will be 10 years of this if I make it through this term. But this will be 10 years of being on city council, so I'm pretty schooled on how it works. But I think this has been one of the best city councils that I've ever been a part of, to be honest with you. Bunch of guys and ladies working, and it's all for free. So, we do what we can do, and hopefully, one saying that we had when we were redoing these buildings was, it's not Burger King, so, you can't have it your way all the time, but we try to do for the majority of the people. Hopefully we represent the people well, and hopefully the people are satisfied with what we do. There's just a lot of things that we haven't done. We haven't raised water rates, and since I don't want to be up here when they raise the water rates, okay? I don't want to be up here. I want to be around here. So, but we haven't had to do that, and I'll just wrap it up. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Marandino. Candidate number 5, Larry Jackson.
Good evening. I've been a resident of Bevel Oaks for 5 years, 1 month, 2 weeks. Come out here August 27th, 5 years ago, and I have had a very pleasant experience since I've been out here. I have no enemies out here. The neighbors are very hospitable. Most of them don't know my name, but they will not pass by without saying hi. And I appreciate that. I enjoy that. We have a very, very safe environment. I spent 4.5 years at Lamar University, and so did my wife. My wife is a retired school teacher, just retired back in May. So she's a traveling lady now. But I'm in the construction business. I've been in the construction business since April 27, 1982. I started out a roofing company, then we went to a construction company, and then I got lucky when the storm came along in 2005. I got a call from one of the inspectors. They asked me the question, can you still pass any kind of test? I said, certainly. So he gave me the Texas Department of License and Regulation number, and he told me to apply for a package to take the electrician exam, and I took it, passed it on the first go around. I was fortunate enough to get with a company that put me in business. And I've been in the electrical side of the business since 2005. We've done very well. I'm familiar with plumbing. I used to have a plumbing license through the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiner. And I'm also experienced at air conditioner. I used to have a license from TDLR as a registered air conditioning and refrigerant technician. So I know a lot of the candidates. We've got some very talented candidates, and from our conversation, and they're looking for somebody to come on board that can work with them, not change what they're doing, but join into what they're doing. I had a quick lesson today on the science of strategies, improvements. I won't say who gave it to me, but 2 years ago I had a pleasure of hosting the Christmas with Santa Claus breakfast, as well as the opportunity to work on this auditorium so the inspector from Lumberton could open our building back up and let us come on back in and use it. So pretty much know what the city councilmen are trying to do, council people are trying to do, and I think I would fit in. I wouldn't come out and take it over, but I sure would jump in and do all I could do to help our city be all that we can be.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And candidate number 6 is Sherry Mitchell.
All right, I came in with a group of people after Harvey to basically muck out houses. I had absolutely no intention on moving here or buying a house or anything like that. I came here to help the people in the city of Bevel Oaks. To make a long story short, I ended up buying one of the houses that I mucked out. From that point on, while the house was being built, I ran for council. I attended just about every city council meeting since after Harvey, but 2018 is when the council meetings started coming back together. Bud Maradino is one of the first people that latched on to me. You know, if we walked up, he said, "Hey, how are you?" And every city council meeting, I was there. You know, right now I am unopposed. I stepped up after our last mayor stepped down, so I'm on my second 2.5-year term, going into my 3.5-year term. My job as city council leader is to lead. I am the rudder of the ship. They are the captains of the ship. All I can do is listen to what they can suggest for me to do and then follow through. If we need to do a new ordinance or a resolution and all the paperwork that everybody hates when I do it, that's my job. You know, I stepped up to volunteer to do this because my first thing to do was to come here to help the people of Bevel Oaks, not necessarily move here. But here I am, almost, 7 years later, still doing what I feel is the best thing for me to do. I may not be the most popular person because, you know, hey, mayors are never popular, but I'm going to try my best. I'm not going to be right, but I'll fight you if I'm wrong, or vice versa. So, you know, that's basically who I am. I'm here to help, not to tell these guys what to do. If you have any questions for me, I'm here at any time. Is it not on? Oh. Nobody can hear me, good. So, but anyway, as a new person coming in, I look at Bevel Oaks a little bit differently because of what I saw. I still remember to this day driving down Sweet Gum and it looked like a war zone. I don't know how you guys survived it. Some people here have been through, 94 flood, exactly 3 or 4 floods, and it's horrible. I stayed with Imelda. I didn't leave. I drove my tractor around watching all the floodwaters. I mean, people don't realize how this city has come back together. Somebody had mentioned about being one of the best city council groups that they've seen in a long time, and it's actually true. I remember going with Bud to some of these meetings, and I went to the meetings to see the fights. I mean, seriously, it was crazy. But, we don't really have that anymore, which is really good. It's a testament to these guys that has really nothing to do with me. I'm just here. So, all right. Then my time is up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so we'll now begin the question and answer portion of the forum. Please understand that these candidates have not had an opportunity to review any of these questions. I will ask these random questions in the same order in which each candidate introduced themselves for round 1, and then this year we will flip for round 2. That was something I remember from last year that we've talked about prior. So it'll go 1 through 6, and then it'll go 6 through 1. Somebody kept stealing the answers last year and before the other one could answer, so we've corrected that this year. So I will draw a question, and we will start. All right, first question. What made you decide to run for mayor or city council? And we'll start with Jeff Thibodeau.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, so my passion has always been to serve, and I'm like Sherry. I honestly didn't want anything to do with what a lot of people were talking about, the clown show, because previous councils were just it was a dreaded time to come in, and people asked me about what I didn't like about it and why wouldn't I start trying to make a change. And so I felt like, well, I can't do anything from the sidelines. Let's jump in and see where it leads. And so Bud Maradino was the one that asked me if I would consider. So I went to my pastor and we prayed about it, and here I am. I love to serve. I'm a servant leader, and whatever I can do to help anywhere, that's what I want to do. And I felt like the city needed some help, and that's why I chose to be a part of it.
All right. Thank you. Candidate number 2, Mr. Clayton, same question.
I'm basically, kind of similar with Jeff. We came in together, and we actually sat right there in a couple of meetings, and we call it is what it is. Nothing, against the past council. However, he, like he said, we didn't want to be a part of what we called the clown show. But as far as me personally, I never had any intent to actually run for city office. There's a strong belief that I hold dear. Many are called, but few are chosen. And that's what led me to being in this seat. I believe in a higher power. Everybody, have different beliefs, but I believe in a higher power. And I think it was, I know it was God that actually led me to this position, because I had reserves even when I won the seat. I had a lot of reserves because I never was in this position, so I had no direction on what to do, where I was going to get information from. But when you're actually led by God and doing things with the right intention, He's not going to leave you nor forsake you. And so there have been times where I didn't know what to say, and then all of a sudden, I had the right things to say. And so, I also, one thing in closing, I also, I think if you're going to complain about the problem, be willing to fix it. And so that's why I dug in deep, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad, that I'm actually following the right footsteps and being led by, my higher power.
Thank you. Mr. Pledge?
Yes. So the reason I signed up to be on the ballot was because everybody told me to. I know this sounds absolutely horrible, but if something's guiding you somewhere, you might as well go with it and see what you can do, and that's what I'm here for. And if I help the city and I'm beneficial to it, I'm going to do everything I can to help the city, because I really like it here, and I want everybody else to like it here. And so it wasn't really a choice I made. It was everybody saying you would be very helpful at this. And so here I am.
Thank you. Mr. Marandino?
Well, I really don't know one. I mean, there's other things I could be doing, but I enjoy doing this. I really do. And right now I'm working with great people with like I said, Precinct 1 and Drainage District. Awesome. Keith McIntosh does our round cleanup and everything, grass cutting, and he does a fantastic job. We just, it's kind of on cruise control on that part. I like visiting with the people that live out here. I like hearing what they got to say, about things. I like helping them if I can. Like I say, it's not Burger King, so, but we can do what we can do. There's, I know y'all heard the clown show part, but I've been on here I've been on here 8 years, and yes, there were some times when, it was a brutal battle around here. But sometimes you have to cross those bridges, to get to where you're at. And I think by doing what we did and going through what we went through, and hopefully we don't have to go through again, that we can make this place better, and we have made it better. This town has bounced back from these storms, unbelievable. I just, thanks to Hardin Jefferson School District is one of the main reasons that when we joined that pretty much saved our day out here. I mean, otherwise this could have been a ghost town without Hardin Jefferson School District. I mean, people aren't going to move out here to go to Beaumont Independent School District. I mean, after the flood, if you're going to live in a flood place. But I mean, that's pretty much everything in a nutshell for me. I'm just here to help and to listen and do what I can do. So, 2 more years.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Jackson?
I was led to join this team, or applied to join this team, because every team I ever played on was either district champions, regional champions, or conference champions. I was captain over at Lamar, inducted into the Lamar Hall of Fame. To win, we don't depend upon individual stardom to win. You have to be able to motivate your team members to do their part, because every little thing that everybody contributes, it determines whether as a team we're champions or just some other people that ran in the race. So interacting with some of the members that we currently have on the city council, I've had an opportunity to create fellowship, create a working relationship with them. I've actually taken time out to listen to them, explain to me some of the needs and some of the challenges doing this work as a city council person. It's not all about glory, it's not all about the accolades, but it's about the labor, it's about the hard work, it's about the effort that one would be willing to put in. And I suggested to some of the members that I have the time now to put some of that effort in, because I'm cutting back on some of my work schedule. I'm 67 years young, but I still got a little gas left in the tank. So I'm prepared to give time, serve, put out the best effort forward to make sure that this city council that we have here in Beverly Oaks stay on the track to win it like they're currently doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Mitchell?
So what led me to this position? That's basically the question. Bud and I have been on council before. If I remember right, Doug Mullins and I have been on council before. I was mayor pro tem at that time. When our prior mayor stepped down, I stepped up. I was running for mayor at that time. She stopped early, and so I came aboard. It's just like everybody has basically said. I mean, you're led to do this type of position. Nobody really wants to do it, but sometimes you have to do it. You know, it's like going to council meetings and, you know, we all go home and we complain and moan and groan about stuff. The only way we can make a change is to step up and try to do something. None of us are going to be right. None of us are going to be wrong. We just have to work together and do the best that we can. I mean, we're all homeowners. We're all property owners. We're all paying taxes. We have to think, what would the citizens want us to do? How can we make the community better? So that's part of the reason why I stepped up. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to question 2, and this will start now with you. You'll go back to back.
Can't cheat now.
Yeah. How do you plan to collaborate with Hardin County officials, Judge Jeff Brannick, State Representative Dave Phelan, to bring resources to Bevel Oaks?
Good question. The only state official I've really worked with would be Brandon Willis. You know, the others I've sent emails to, they've really, you know, times are tough right now and everybody's working in different directions. I haven't really gotten any response back, but now with a 2-year term that we're working on now it's time to start reaching out. My idea, whether, I don't know if the council agrees or not, I want to do annexation. Bevel Oaks needs to grow. You know, some people say yes, some people say no, but we need the tax base. You know, we need to be able to, you know, try to make this community grow somewhat, but I also know that Hardin-Jefferson School District really can't handle any more growth. So it's a quandary. So.
Okay. Mr. Jackson.
I vaguely know Judge Bennett from Lamar University. He hangs out a lot with Coach Tim Gilligan. They're fellow Hall of Famers. I have a relationship with current AD Jeff O'Malley and President Jaime Taylor. And from time to time, I'll be upstairs in the press box with them over at the Montaigne Center. So I would have an opportunity to reach out to them and fellowship with them and see what resources they could make available to us out here at Bevel Oaks. So I'm in a position to dialogue with them. I can get in the door. If they allow me to the table, I can take it from there. Lots of confidence.
Sounds good. Thank you. All right. Mr. Marandino.
Okay, one thing that we've done recently is we've, the city council has approved to get a grant writer for our city. So that's somebody that professionally goes out and seeks grants, okay? As far as my relationship with Brandon Willis, which is Precinct 1 County Commissioner, a lot of the, Judge Brannick, I don't really know very well. My nephew knows him real well. He's on the school board of Port Neches Grove. But on a day-to-day basis, not really knowing any of them. But I know that we have signed on a grant writer, and we're going to be currently looking. We need some ways to create some funds to fix some problems that we have out here that a lot of people don't know about. Our sewer system was started back in the 80s, and it's getting old. Y'all see what's happening to Beaumont. I mean, they're digging up every street, and we don't have the funds to do that. So that's going to have to be big money. That's going to have to be grants done to do that. Our water needs to be updated. I mean, there's some things out here. We were able to get a road grant a while back. Y'all know that we got our blacktop roads out here, which is great. We were able to work with the county this time, and we got a couple of roads done out here, so that was good. There's just, as far as politicking with the high politicians, I'm more on the working level than I am than the way up there level. I mean, I we're getting a lot done. So that's about all I know.
Thank you. Mr. Pileggi, and anybody that needs me to reread the question, if you'll just raise your hand, I'll reread it.
I obviously don't know any of those people, but I do know plenty of high up people. I know plenty of people like in junior league and different stuff like that, and it doesn't take 2 seconds to call somebody up and ask for help. And in situations like that where we need something and I don't know where to find it, I know how to find it. I'll just find somebody that knows how to find it and follow the leads. So even though I may not right off the bat know these people and where I can call and ask them for a favor or something like that, I generally will find a way to them, and I know somebody they know, or introduce myself, I'll write an email. I will find some way to get the things we need in whichever manner needed possible. If that makes any sense to anybody. But basically, it's just I won't say I don't know and leave it at that. I will figure out a way to get what we need in any possible way to get it done.
Thank you. Mr. Clayton.
All right. It's goes back to what I said earlier. I have Abigail. Can you raise your hand, please? I've been blessed. Just received a phone call a couple of months ago. I was reached out to. I didn't sort it out, but somebody called me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of what's called the Texas Pipeline Leadership Governance Program. Abigail is actually working with me. She's a fellow. And so, ironically, we have been in contact with Senator Cruz, Dade Phelan, his kids go to school, my kids as well, with superintendent as well. So it's, and let me explain something. Because, everybody, the best part about this council that we have, all the moving parts are gelling together. Everybody have their own unique thing that they're good at. And that's what I love about this council. And so with that being said, we're working on actually going and collaborating with higher officials, because when you collaborate with higher officials, they actually have a different budget that they can actually offer us. If we actually have some things that are on the same, that runs parallel with their agenda is, then maybe, they can help us out with some funding as well. So it was ironic that that question was being asked, because Abigail, blessings to her, she's actually been sending out a lot of emails to those names actually mentioned by the moderator. So those are actually in the works right now. We've also been reaching out to Texas A&M, because one of the main problems in Bevel Oaks is drainage. So we're trying to actually, with the parks as well, trying to get with Energy to actually donate some money to actually, make our parks ADA compliant. So everybody have their own rightful moving parts that makes this council great.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, Mr. Thibodeau.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
Yes.
Okay. So, great question, because we are not in this boat alone. There are many, many people in very high levels that are just basically waiting to be put to work. Before we got on the council, there was a opening that one of the Beaumont City Councilmen told me about, and I went to investigate, and turns out it was a county position, and I got very blessed to just kind of show up at the right time. Two or three people that had signed up for this precinct chair, and I was the one that showed up. So by default, I filled this precinct chair, and it's all about. But when I start looking into it, I realize the people that are sitting around me in this executive room are movers and shakers. The judges, the directors, the counselors, the commissioners, all of Jefferson County, and there were some great relationships that were respawned As a Beaumont fireman years ago, I met Kerry Erickson, and I met several of the other people that are movers and shakers in this community. So redeveloping those lines of communication, I believe, will lead to solutions when there are issues. I can't say that any one person is going to have all of the answers. However, kind of like what Mr. Jackson was saying, and Andrew said as well, if you know the issue and you ask enough questions, then
Yeah, I didn't give you the heads up.
okay.
All right. You get an opportunity to turn around and go again. So Mr. Clayton had he had a second event this evening, so he had a conflict, so he had to step out. So we will skip his position from here forward. Mr. Thibodeau, the next question is, how much of your personal time are you willing to give back to Bevel Oaks?
Go ahead, Jim.
So I think it goes without saying that I do put in a lot of time, personal time, with the city of Bevel Oaks. Up until recently, I picked up some work in Arkansas, which has had me on the road for a while, but I'm still living in Bevel Oaks. I don't ever plan to move, and I spend a lot of time budgeting my time with the city, volunteering for whatever needs to happen. So being self-employed, I do have the benefit of time management. So, it's whatever the need is, I am wanting to be there to do whatever it takes to make it happen. So I really don't have very many time constraints.
Thank you. Mr. Pileggi.
As far as time goes, pretty much any time I'm needed, I'll be there. If I got to take off work early or work weekends over here or do whatever's needed, my time is your time, basically. But my work's time is my work's time. So other than that, anytime I'm needed outside of work, or if I can take off work, whatever's needed, I'll be here.
Mr. Marandino.
I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, I spend my days out here, most of my days out here, unless I'm traveling to go see grandkids or traveling to do something else. I'm usually out here. My phone number's on a sign at the end of Sweet Gum at the red light, that says something about some work that I don't do a whole lot of anymore, but my phone number is there. And, if people call me, I mean, I'm more than happy to respond or whatever. If they need something, I have people call me from different wards just because I knew a lot of people out here because I've been here so long. And not because they're sidestepping their council person, but because they just know me and they want to, hey, what can we do about that? And sometimes I'll refer them back to their ward person if it's something that, or to, like Jim, he's over the water. If it's something to do with the water, well, he may need to talk to Jim. But as far as time, I spend pretty much a lot of time out here doing stuff. So, and I'm available to do stuff. We've been blessed to have Chuck jump in here and do a lot of work. He's helped us with a lot of stuff out here, and now we have Layla, and she stepped in. So we have some help now, on the way. Help's on the way for the little sideline work that we used to have to run, go, put up a pole or put up this or go do that. And now we have somebody that can do that, and we help them, to do it. But, we're blessed to have that, and we were able, that's something else the council did. They were able to hire a couple of people, so we have some people that actually get paid to do some work. With that being said, that's about all I know.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Jackson.
Okay, I'm self-employed. I'm a captain of my own ship. My vocation is work. My recreation is also work. I live to work, I live to serve. The things I used to do when I was a young man, I used used to like to travel, visit. I've done my share of that. So I spend most of my time at work or locked up in my room at home. So when this city needs me, this is the challenge to me. See if I will show up. I can take off 3-4 days in the same week if I wanted to. But I can make the time up. I get paid a lot for using my name and my license on the job. For instance, if customers get caught out there working without a permit, then they in trouble. Who do you call? You call Jackson. What Jackson gonna do? You're gonna go downtown, you're gonna get your paperwork straight, and you're gonna let the city inspectors know, taking over this project, they were unaware of the process, and if you can, waive all or some of that $500 fee, but if not, I'm taking care of it. So I do the same for this great city called Beverly Oaks, but I live out here. I've been in this community 49 years. And if I wanted to go back to Bay City, Texas, where I come from, they would accept me tomorrow with open arms. I went back and pastored out there for 8 years. Then I came back. Van Vleck, that's the name of the school. The boys that stayed on the farms, we call it Bay City. That's on our mail. Yeah, so I'll be available. I have unlimited amount of time to get with the guys and see to it that we get this task done that we need to get done here in Beverly Oaks. Thank you.
Same question.
Same question.
All right, basically, as Mr. Jackson stated, I'm self-employed. I work 7 days a week by choice, but I'm also available 7 days a week for the city of Bevel Oaks. I stop by City Hall every single morning, whether I want to or not. But because I have the right people in place on city council and in the office, I was also part of starting the maintenance department and hiring some of these people that we have in the maintenance department now. I don't have to spend a lot of time within the city. These people are taking care of business. All I got to do is basically supervise. You know, and it's like, if Mr. Jackson's not doing something right, I'm going to end up yelling at him, even though I don't yell too loud. But, you know, as long as we have the right people in place, it doesn't really matter how much time we spend in the city. Things are getting done. We've got the right people in place. And that's it.
All right, thank you. Okay, we're going to come back to you for question. Next question. What area or issues of concern in our community do you feel most passionate about and why? And will you address these issues?
Well, some of the issues that have been brought to me over the last couple of years is ordinance enforcement. Everybody wants everybody to clean their yard, but everybody wants to complain about it when we do it. So that's one of the biggest issues we're dealing with right now. It's not something that everybody wants to be involved in. It's not an easy process. But once we send out letters, you can hear the lawnmowers going. And it looks beautiful. We've got a lot of people who don't really talk to the city or even to their council people about what's going on. But you sure see the post up on Facebook, man, this neighborhood looks great. But the ones who get the letters that don't want to comply, they complain the loudest. So that's what I'm working on with some of the council people. You know, we have some unpopular jobs to do, but in the long run, the overall results will be phenomenal. Next.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson,
Yes, sir.
what area or issues of concern in our community do you feel the most passionate about and why? And will you address these issues?
That area would be red tag house abatement. The reason why, those houses are not safe when they're wide open. They're wide open for critters to get into them, rodents, and all the other creatures that affect our quality of life at our homes. How would I propose to solve that situation? One, look up who owns it. My daughter's a realtor, she can find out pretty swiftly who owns what property and how to get in touch with them. What I would do is I would begin the negotiating process and see if some of these people would be willing to let us as a nonprofit group buy these houses and then put together some teams right in the community and take care of the refurbishing of the houses and then put them up for sale. So that's my area. Abating red tag, dangerous structure. but not taking it from the people, but negotiating with the people and seeing how can we peacefully encourage them to allow somebody in the community to get some use out of the building. I think that would be wonderful.
Thank you. Mr. Marandino. Okay. What area or issues of concern in our community do you feel most passionate about and why? And will you address these issues?
Well, with what I do, the roads and the drainage, I mean, we're trying to keep the roads up. We're trying to keep, number one, we started with if water was getting in someone's house after a flash rain. Okay, so we took care of some problems out here for that. The next is if water's getting over the road somewhere. So we took care of that. We get from the county, from Precinct 1, we have an agreement with them, and we get 3 days a month for them to work out here. Okay, so I figured it up one time. We have 11 miles of roads out here, so it would take about 21 years for them to dig out all the ditches in front of everybody's houses if they work 3 days, 3 days a month. So that's not going to happen. So we have to do the best we can with what we've got. And we're getting extra from them, make no mistake. The drainage districts come out, man, they've done phenomenal jobs. Y'all have already heard me say that. And the bayou, as far as the bayou coming up, there is a grant out right now that DD6 got, that they're doing another study on that, possibly be able to bypass that saltwater barrier that's clogging us up in the Neches River, to where we could get the water out of here. But another massive flood like we had, Harvey, we're going to have water. I mean, we're going to have water out here. I mean, but they claim the 94 was a 100-year flood. Who'd ever known I'd have lived to be 500? You're calling this 500,000-year flood now, I mean, so that's where I'm trying. That's what I try to do. But, it's patience. It's, and we have some more rock left over, so we're going to get back on the schedule to get with the county to do some more work. So there's it.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Plaisir.
Can you read the question again?
Absolutely. What area or issues of concern in our community do you feel most passionate about and why? And will you address these issues?
The most passion I feel is for like the city park, and to make sure that the people have stuff to do and are happy to live here. And the ordinances, of course, because you don't want to drive into the neighborhood and, oh, look at that house, or oh, look at that house. I mean, what I like the most about this neighborhood is it's a happy place to live, and there's stuff to do, and everybody's happy. And the park for the kids, I love seeing the kids run around and being able to be free. And I want to make sure that I can do everything I can to make sure people want to live here, want to be happy, and you can see people outside just enjoying their houses, their yards, the city. And that's what I am most passionate about for the city, and trying to keep up with that. And I think Jeff has done a great job at promoting city events and stuff like that. And I think everybody's done a great job. And I want to try to help continue to make this place a place where you drive into it and you're proud of it. And I think the ordinances is a big deal with that. And I don't know how exactly those all keep up, but I think she's doing a great job. But that's what I'm most passionate about.
Thank you. All right, and lastly, Mr. Thibodeau.
Thank you, sir. Another good question. Quality of life. Quality of life. And everybody who said made a comment tonight, is increasing the quality of life. All the stuff that Bud was talking about, the wonderful work done in the ditches and the roads and the drainage and the ordinances and all that, the quality of life. Because whenever we first moved out here, it was because the quality of life seemed to be so high. And so by people meeting other people, neighbors meeting neighbors, and you begin to have a relationship with your neighbors. You find out what they like, and you find out about their kiddos, their grandkids, where they're from, and what brings higher fences. We need bigger tables. We don't need so much fences all the way around our home. We need front porches. We need people that wave at people as they drive by their home and be friendly and know that, okay, my neighbor is sick. Let's bring them some soup. Or I see that this man needs some help cutting his grass, and don't wait for them to ask. Just go do it. But the quality of life, Brad, that is where my passion is. Meeting people where they are, whatever it takes to help them get a higher quality of life. That is my passion, and that's where I want to serve.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to come back to you for the next question. With so many children, what can be done with our speeders and our stop sign runners?
Tax strip. There, I've heard the voices that say again, what?
No, sorry.
Okay, I've heard them say that we've tried this, we've tried that, it didn't work, whatever. There's really nothing new under the sun. It's just you've got to make it hurt whenever somebody breaks the law. You've got to hit them in the wallet. You've got to have fines. You're going to have more notifications, flashing lights, radar signs. Even though I've heard it say, well, we tried that 100 years ago. Well, try it again. We've got other opportunities that we could put unmonitored radar signs that would just bring more focus to, okay, this is what it looks like when you're doing more than 30 miles an hour. Slow down. I wouldn't want to put anybody in harm's way with a citizens on patrol that would go out there, because I think that's too risky. But our Jefferson County Sheriff's Department is doing a great job, and I think they can step it up some. We've got to be the ones to put the peer pressure on. And if you're videotaped or whatever, if you're speeding, slow it down. It's got to be from a group effort and peer pressure. Peer pressure is a wonderful thing. It's a very good tool.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Pileggi, same question.
I don't think there's a whole lot you can do, because speeders are going to speed. It happens everywhere. It's unfortunate. And somebody's late, they're not paying attention, they're going to speed. My opinion is, I think the two main roads coming into the city, I think the stop signs are unnecessary, and a lot of people get annoyed from so much start-stop. I know it's probably an unpopular opinion, but it's a lot easier to get in and out of the city if you don't have to stop. It takes a lot less time, and so I feel like people may be a little bit less inclined to speed if they're doing a consistent 30 the whole way, instead of all this take off, slow down, trying to rush. It seems like that would, in my head, help. I don't know if it would. I'm sure it's not popular opinion. I also think maybe painting the speed limit on the road in certain places, like because I've done some research, and there's really not much you can do, because if somebody wants to speed, they're gonna speed. All you can do is put up signage. You can put up more like road markings and stuff like that. There's just not a whole lot you can do. The only other option would be to have police officers, which I've heard they're willing to do, come every day and sit there. But again, if somebody wants to speed, they're just going to get past them and speed anyway. And so I think it's kind of like Jeff said, it's going to be up to everybody. If somebody's going 30, it's going to be really hard for somebody to get around you. There's usually somebody around. In peer pressure, it's just going to take a group effort of consciousness to be careful. And there's not really much you can actively do other than take a police officer and set them at one road, and then they'll just go on the other road. I mean, it's just unfortunate situations, people being irresponsible, and that's all you can do, is try to paint the roads. I don't know.
Thank you. Mr. Mandino.
Well, let's go back to Harvey. Right after Harvey, there was a lot of citizens out here complaining about the contractors speeding out here, because we had a lot of contractors out here working, and they said, man, these contractors have to slow down. They're speeding all over the place. So a friend of mine, Kevin Lovett, he was a sheriff's deputy then at the time, he pulled everybody off traffic one day, and got them set up out here, and they spent the day out here in Bevel Oaks. And they wrote over 30 tickets, Sweet Gum and Riverbend, and 28 of them were the citizens out here. So, you know, I mean, you know, it's kind of like the pot, you know, I mean, pot kettle deal, you know, I mean, the people, until the citizens start respecting the people that live on Sweet Gum and other streets and slow down. I mean, because if they lived in those houses, they wouldn't want the cars to be going 50, 60 miles an hour past their house. So until the people start respecting the people that live on those streets, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department does a heck of a job. I mean, they cover all the way. You go to High Island and look to the left, that's theirs down there. They start down there by Sabine Pass. With the deputies that they have, man, we get way more than we deserve out here, you know, from Jefferson County. They're out here a lot. I mean, for this little spot out here, they're out here a lot. And again, that's probably the only solution is the police and tickets, you know. And have I ever sped out here? Absolutely. And I got stopped a couple of years ago, you know, recently after we called them to get them out here, you know. So, I mean, you know, it's hard to you know, unless you set your cruise on 30 going down Sweet Gum or 30, 35, whatever. Unless you set your cruise, it's very easy now with that blacktop road to be going 40, 45, 50 miles an hour. So you just have to be aware.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson.
Well, I got a very simple solution for this. One of the greatest illustrators on the council, Jim Wright, he likes to draw. He can't get a point off without doing some type of drawing. Well, what are you getting to, Jackson? I think a good step for us to do would be to design a flip chart that we could get together some committee people and we could actually go out to the houses, to our neighbor's house, and share with them our concern about why they should slow down. Let's ask a question. What if one of your kids or grandkids was traveling down that road on foot and a speeder ran over your grandkid or your kid? How would you feel? You wouldn't feel good? We wouldn't feel good either. So let me tell you why we're here today. We're here to encourage you to slow your speed down to whatever's on the speed limit sign. Now, we don't want to bring the police out here to give you tickets because it shouldn't take the threat of a ticket to encourage you to do what's right. So we're here today to encourage you to look out for the safety of all the young people that might be traveling down this road, and for every car that slow down, that give our young people some extra time to live. May I ask for your cooperation in this matter? We don't need the police to come out here, do we? Okay then, so I leave today with the assurance that you're going to do better, you're going to slow down, you're going to drive safer, and you're going to let our children live a little while longer. And then you thank them for their time. And then you ask them, would you like to be a part of this committee that's going out and reminding the neighbors that we must slow down? We must care about the lives of the pedestrian walking the street. And my time is up. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Mayor
All I
Mitchell.
got to say is amen, and I've got nothing to say after Mr. Jackson. He said it all. We just get a hallelujah.
All right. Let's start with all right, if elected, what strength will you bring to the council to help it keep it focused on bettering our city? And we'll start back with you.
Well, there's no if I'm elected because I'm already elected. And what strength do I have? The only strength that I offer is basically being able to work with everybody who's on council and try to be the rudder of the ship. That's what I offer.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
My greatest strength is working with people, but my number skill is greater than all. I spent 4 years in high school as a number sense champion. So I'm good at working with numbers. I'm good at solving problems. So there are a lot of mathematical decisions that we have to make as far as keeping our plumbing up, keeping our water up, calculating what kind of discounts we can give our senior citizens. I'm one of those senior citizens. I get a discount now. You understand? So with the proper numbers, I can help bring about swift but honest answers when it comes time to diagnose or make deductions or see how feasible it is to work at changing something or fixing something. So if elected and on the council, I wouldn't come in as a know-it-all, but I would come in as a resident mathematical expert. And I'd make all of my Lamar University knowledge available to anybody on the board. Probably have a little problem with old Jim, though. Jim's pretty sharp himself.
He can outnumber you.
I already know.
Yeah. All righty. Thank you. Mr. Marandino.
Well, what was that question? So
All
I
right.
can be specific.
If elected,
If
what
elected.
strength will you bring to the council to help keep it focused on bettering our city?
Well, I think the main thing that we need to stay focused on is keeping this council together. Okay, keeping us working as a unit, keeping us. We have people that do. He does water. This one does this. This one does that. Okay, I do this, and as long as they're confident in doing what they're doing, I don't have to worry about the vacant homes. I don't have to. That's not my strong point. You know, as long as we can stay focused on what we're trying to do and work as a group to do it, well then, and we're doing everything for the better of the citizens that we do. We're not doing anything to harm anybody or to pick anybody out or anything like that. We're trying to do it to work as a unit for the whole city to make it better. Make our roads better, make our drainage better, make our appearance look better, make our roads safer, make everything that we can do as a group. And as long as we continue to operate as a group and not as a Lone Ranger type thing, then I think that we can stay together and continue to make progress that we've made. And make no mistake, there's been a lot of progress out here in the last couple of years. There's been a lot, and hopefully we stay on that track and we continue on.
Thank you, Mr. Pileggi. Absolutely. If elected, what strength will you bring to the council to help keep it focused on bettering our city?
What strength will I bring to the council? ADHD. I am very good at doing multiple things at once and thinking things through really fast. I don't like when people bicker and stuff like that. I have short attention spans, so sitting there, I like sticking down the point and getting through it quick, and all this getting off topic and people complaining about things that don't matter. It's like, I don't like that. I like staying on topic and getting things done, and so I think that really helps with city stuff. It just helps move things along instead of getting veered off in arguments and stuff like that, which I've seen happen in the past. It's not fun.
All right. Mr. Clayton.
Greatest strength, I'm in the same boat with Mayor. I'm running unopposed, so I'll be in seat for Ward 2 again. Greatest strength is, first of all, always yield to my faith first. And so that's knowing where my strength comes from, because he leads me in everything I do. Secondly, as I spoke about earlier, I played for what's considered Team of the Decade. We went undefeated, which is unheard of, 3 seasons in a row in our conference. So I know what it takes to be a team player playing football. It was 11 of us with the same goal. So, to win the highest thing, which is a championship, 3 years in a row, I'm well diverse when it comes to teamwork. I recognize, like everybody said, we have a collective group that actually have their own little niche that we do, and we piggyback off of one another. And I think that's what makes us great. So teamwork. Also, my social life, and I'm going to utilize my resources. That's what I'm real big in. Not to brag or anything, but I have some people. One of my best friends is in Louisiana. He's a state representative, so he kind of coaches me on how to actually maneuver through this thing. And it was like God sent. Like I said, I mean, as far as using my resources to actually help Bevel Oaks to get, the main thing is more money to actually build our infrastructure, to actually get more knowledge on we getting engineers in to actually make Bevel Oaks a better and safer place to live in as far as the infrastructure. So I think I have some pretty good strengths that I can actually bring to the table for the next 2 years as well.
All right. And lastly, Mr. Thibodeau.
Okay. So the strength that I feel is my greatest strength is servant leadership. It is finding a task or being given a task and working it to completion without having to be badgered or whether it's going to be done right. You just give me a task and wind me up and watch me go. And it's part of being a teamwork or a team player that helps get the job done more efficiently. Nobody is a lone ranger. Nobody can do anything by themselves. It takes a team, and I really have enjoyed serving with this council. Everybody is really hard at work. Those that have a job and they are working it to completion, and you can see there's a lot of results, positive results. And by that token, I would love to have another 2 years because there's more to do. There's more projects out there. There's more resources out there that's coming down. We've already had many Zoom calls about some things that to be announced, but it's a lot. It's a lot. There is a lot to do, and my wagon is big, and we can load it up and make Bevel Oaks a better place to live. So servant leadership is where I excel. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we've reached the end of our question and answer session, and now we're to the point of candidates' closing remarks. So each candidate will have 2 minutes for their own closing remarks, and we will start with candidate 1, and so coming back to Jeff Thibodeau.
Okay, well, thanks again for being here, Brad, and for hosting this event again.
Yes,
Great job. Love hearing everybody's comments. When Lisa and I moved our family to Bevel Oaks, it's been about 25 years ago. The thing that drew us here was a true neighborhood feeling. The council has mentioned something about Mayberry, and honestly, it felt like that. We had our own little Marshall and had a swimming pool and a tennis court. The kids loved it. We felt like it was a safe place for them to ride their bicycles, so we didn't have to worry about where they were at any one time because we just knew it was a great neighborhood. Lately, I'll be honest, it seems like we're kind of drifting more towards an HOA atmosphere with people tending to just be reserved or stay to themselves. And there's a lot of new people out here that I would love to have involved in city events and city activities. There's maybe a little bit too much tension and maybe not enough listening. I believe we can fix that. I believe we can probably just find parity through better communication, not by shouting louder, but by talking more and by listening better, and also by working together. Proud of the progress we've made, and I'm hopeful that we can still achieve together everything that we want and even more. If reelected, I'll continue to focus on what unites us, which is community, transparency, fiscal responsibility, and respect. So I welcome your ideas, your feedback, and your partnership, because it's not my city, it's our city. And that's the way I would like to serve the next 2 years as our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Lonnie Clayton.
Yes, thanks for actually moderating, Mr. Brad, and thanks, Ms. Scroggins, and thanks citizens for actually participating in the questions. As Jeff said, I think I can personally say that everybody that's on council now, including myself, have the best intentions of the citizens. One thing that I came in saying to the council when I got elected is that, we come from different backgrounds. We have different views of life. We have different, we different, but one thing that makes this country that we live in is the democracy that we're able to practice. We're going to disagree on a lot of things, but my main slogan going into this next 2 years is to bring humanity back. I think we need to get to the basics, bringing humanity back. I hear, we talk about the bickering, and like I say, we all have the best intentions for our citizens, but just because we don't agree, that don't mean, we have to hate one another. So moving forward, I want to actually start with the basics and utilize my skills, my resources, and help, these guys in any way I can. Bud is very, very, very proficient with, what he's tackling as far as the roads and drainage. Jim is oh my gosh, he's the chief, and I'll be a little bit remiss if I, and the mayor, all her legal advice. Jeff, he's a very socialite, bringing the community together, and I'll be remiss not to actually bring in the staff. Charlie, this is one of our maintenance guys. He does over and beyond, as far as keeping the city done, and our two ladies that's in office. So I look forward to serving these next 2 years and serving, and I'm an open book. Feel free to reach out to me if you guys have any suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you. Andrew Pileggi.
I think everybody in the city council and with the city in general does an amazing job. I want to tell them all thank you. You're all doing great, and I would love to be here to assist you guys in any way possible. And I may not know what's going on generally, but I will figure it out, and I will step up if I can. And I would like to be part of it to make this city better for everybody, because I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it to make the city better for everybody. And so I think that motivation right there makes a big difference. It's not pride or selfishness or trying to look good or I want the name of city council. I think I'm just here to try and make the place better. And I think that the goal should be everybody's goal, which it seems to be. I'd like to be part of it.
Thank you. Bud Marinino.
I just, I like being a part of this council, and I like this community out here. I wouldn't have stayed here 31 years if I wouldn't. And I could move, but I don't want to move. It's too late. And you know what? Another thing about this council that we've had is being able to not just go out and do something, but to be able to bring it to council and then get a solution, to what you're doing. Get another input. Get another idea. And Lonnie comes up with an idea. Jim, whoever comes up with an idea that, I had an idea, but hey, this one's better. I'm all about saving money out here, and everybody knows me like that. I ran a business for 30 some odd years, and it's all about you got to make a profit, and we are a business out here. This is a business to try to run. I mean, if we spend all our money, we're done. So everything that we can save out here and everything that we can do, like Mr. Jackson said, he's got a lot to offer. I know he does. That can help. Strengthen us as far as getting stuff done and without having to pay, people, without having to hire someone, I still will say again, we got Charlie, we got Layla, we got Sabrina, we got Heather. I mean, those people are doing a phenomenal job here, I mean, Charlie started out, he was just helping me and work. We were out there putting up signs and stuff, and I told him, I said, man, you need to work out here. Somebody needs to be getting paid out here. And and he stepped up and you know, started doing all kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's we've had a lot of help, and we've had a lot of help from other citizens too. I'm not slighting the other people out here that do stuff, but we appreciate everything that y'all say and everything that y'all do, and we're going to try to do the best we can for y'all.
Thank you. Larry Jackson.
Well, neighbors, being a pastor, retired pastor, I have no choice but to make a close. And in my close, I'm going to use the 5 L's. First thing I want to do is I want to look. I already have a relationship with everybody in the office and all of the city council at this time. So I want to continue looking at what the staff is doing. And after looking, I want to listen, open my ears that I might hear why they doing what they doing, the way they doing it. And then after looking and listening, I want to learn. So if you look, you listen, you can become aware of why they doing what they're doing and why we need to do it this way. So after learning from the team, then what you do is you make a step forward. You say, okay, I'm ready to follow the leadership that's already in place. Because if you can't follow the leadership that's in place, how can you expect them to one day follow you? And then after following leadership, then we go into the last L, and that is personally leading forward when the opportunity becomes available. Look, listen, learn, adhere to leadership, and then lead when your opportunity comes. Those are my closing remarks.
Thank you, sir. Mayor Mitchell.
And then, following what Mr. Jackson is saying, there's basically, this is the team that's sitting here at the table. There is no I in team. So as the mayor, I'm not going to put myself before the team. The team comes first. I just guide the team. And that's my closing.
All right. Thank you. On behalf of the Citizens Advisory Board, I'd like to say thank you all for coming out tonight, and for those of you that joined us online. We'd especially like to thank our candidates for being a part of the democratic process by running for office and be willing to serve your community. If you don't remember anything else, remember that first and foremost, you are a community and you are neighbors. Especially during the election cycle when emotions can become high, opinions differ, and at times can get the better of us all. Just know that kindness and understanding and lending a helping hand goes a long way. Second is the best ways to have your voices heard is to vote. Being a superintendent and going through board elections and other elections, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to get out and vote. Make your voice heard. Please educate yourself, pray, and consider who deserves and in your opinion has earned your vote, and then do your civic duty. I want to personally thank you again for allowing me to moderate. I think it's when you look at what's going on in our world today, the ability to get in a room and be collaborative and to have civil discussion about what can make us better as a community is what's missing in a lot of parts of our society. And so I appreciate all of you for your service. And at this point, this concludes our 25 Meet the Candidates Forum. Thank you again, and God bless you and good night.
Nice seeing you. Good to see you.